Hello guys, welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to have on the channel Ryan Rhodes. He is a former boxer and he's also a trainer now. So yeah, how are you? Oh, and his boxing record, was 52 fights, 46 wins, 6 defeats with 31 KOs. So yeah, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I tell you what, you know your boxing, don't you, Sam? You're very, very knowledgeable.
Yes, mate. Thank you.
I like it. I like it.
So you were trained by Brendan Ingle, weren't you?
That's right. Back in the Ingle gym, I walked into the gym when I was 6 years old. I didn't have my first amateur fight till I was 11. So I'd been training for, 5 years before I even could have a fight. So by the time I came around to have a fight, I was very experienced.
Yes. So did you win your first amateur fight?
I did, yes. I boxed in Liverpool. I went all the way down to Liverpool. I took a coach full down with me. My parents, my family, friends from school. We took a coach down to Liverpool. I had a fantastic night, and yeah, I won my first amateur fight, I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember wearing a big gold gown, green shorts. Brendan inspired us to have the bit of the Irish flamboyant colours.
Yes. So how old were you when you had your first amateur fight?
I was 11. I was 11.
And did you win any, like, I don't know, did you win anything as an amateur, like a title?
Yeah, so I won 4 national titles as an amateur. I boxed for England twice. I got to the semi-final in the senior ABAs when I was just 17. And if I'd have won the senior ABAs, I would have been one of the youngest kids to win a senior ABA title. But I got beat in the semi-final against a good kid. But I won 4 national titles and boxed for England.
Oh, so you were a decent amateur then?
Yeah, what did I have? I had 67 amateur fights and I lost 13.
So you must have won about 45, 47.
That's right. That's right. That's correct.
Did you get any like of your wins by knockout? Because in the pros you got 31 knockouts.
Yeah, so by the time I was probably 15, I was very strong. I was very mature for my age, and I was knocking people out at 15 years old. I got quite a lot of stoppages and quite a lot of TKOs, which is nowadays it's very like it's not common for amateur fighters to be stopping opponents. But as an amateur, when I become 15, it's what we call man strength in the boxing game. I got it at a young age at 15, and I was knocking people out and stopping people.
Did you actually knock like someone out when you were 15?
Yeah, yeah. So I remember, I think I was 16. I was boxing in Hull, and we was having to wear head guards then, and
Yeah.
I remember hitting my opponent. I think it was with a right hook from my southpaw stance. I think it was a right hook, and his head guard came off,
Oh,
and everybody like went, "Oh my god!" People thought his head had fell off, but it weren't. I hit him that hard. I knocked him out, but his head guard came off as well. So that was a funny story.
yeah. So would you say that's your favourite win as an amateur when you knocked his head guard off?
Yeah, I mean, it just sticks out because back in them days, the video cameras used to sit on shoulders. They were that big. Now they're just little things like that where you can hold or on your phones. But back in them days, it was a big video camera, and I remember people what was around the video camera shouting, saying, "Oh my God!" It was
Have you
it was
still got the
something when we
video?
went back home. I haven't. No, I lost it. I lost
Ah.
it. There is one. There is one of my amateur fights on YouTube, and I think I think I knocked the guy out in the first round. The referee jumped in and stopped it straight away.
So what would you say has been your like your favorite win, like amateur and pro? Like, what's your favorite win, just
I
overall?
think I think winning my first national title as a schoolboy when I was 13 years old. I boxed in Derby at the assembly rooms. I was 13 and Naz was 16, and he won the schoolboy national title. And on the same day, I won my schoolboy national title. So that was one of my national titles to that sticks in my head, which was a great memory. My first national title, and then probably as a pro, I've got two big wins where I think were my favourite one. When I first won my British title against Paul Silky Jones, who was a fellow Sheffielder, I knocked him out, I think, in the 7th round. And then later on in my career, when I boxed for the European title, when nobody really gave me a chance, when I beat Jamie Moore, I think that's another massive win. Which
Jamie
them two,
trains Catterall and stuff, doesn't he? And Mark Lee.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, I boxed Jamie for the European title, and Jamie was a big favourite in that fight. And I boxed. We boxed at Bolton Arena, and because I was a big underdog and I won that fight, that really, I was proud of that fight, winning that fight.
Yeah. So is that what one of your biggest wins? Would you say winning the
Yeah, I'd
European
say so.
title?
Because I was such an underdog in that fight. Jamie was winning, knocking everybody out, and they didn't give me much of a chance. But I
Was
went
he
in
the
that fight.
champion?
He was the champion. Yeah, yeah, he was the champion.
Oh, I do like a good win from the underdog, mate.
Exactly. I like your style. I like your style, Sam.
It's always good seeing the underdog win.
Yeah, definitely.
What fight would you say has been your hardest fight?
I would say without doubt, Canelo.
Yes, but you did
Yeah,
you did well in that fight, and you got stopped in the last round, unfortunately for
I
you.
did. I did. I got stopped with a body shot. I say a body shot. The punch below before the body shot, it hit me low. The referee stopped, warned him, and told him, but made us box on straight away. Never gave me a chance to recover. And I think Canelo knew he got me with a good shot there. So we carried on fighting straight away, and he jumped on me and he managed to get me out of there. But it's one fight that I'm very proud of because look what Canelo's gone and done today. An absolute legend in the sport.
Yeah, mate, he is. So no shame in losing to Canelo. He's undisputed champion. So
Yeah, exactly.
what? So were you an underdog going into that fight as well?
Oh yeah, massively. Yeah, I mean, I was 30. What was I? I was 34 years old, so I was really coming to the end to the later end of my career. Canelo, I think, was 21. He just won the WBC world title, the fight before against Matthew Hatton. So he was built up by Golden Boy Promotions as the next Mexican superstar, and he wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong, was he? So yeah. So I was a big underdog in that, but I was very proud of my performance. 34 years old, like I said, coming to the latter end of my career, but I thought I did really well, and I showed a good account of myself.
Do you think that you were winning the fight?
I don't think so. He was that good. He had an answer for everything I tried. I tried to box him. I tried to fight him. I tried to make him mace. He was just good in every department, and that's why he's the superstar he is today because he had an answer for everything and he got a style for everything, which capitalized on my style. So that's why he's the pound for pound fighter today.
Did he fight you before he fought Mayweather?
Yeah, I think it was probably about 4 or 5 fights about that. I think about 5, 6 fights before he boxed Mayweather. Yeah, yeah, that's right.
So do you like seeing him doing well?
Oh, absolutely, definitely. I'm proud of fighting Canelo, and I'm proud of him in winning the titles what he's won because I can tell I tell my kids I'll tell my grandkids that I once shared a ring with that guy. So I'm very proud of what he's achieved, and I hope he goes on to win more and more titles.
Are you a bit gutted that you didn't win the world title?
Oh yeah, definitely. I won everything else. I won British, I won European, I won international titles. I fought for 4 world titles, but I just came short on 4 world titles. So,
Hmm.
but listen, I only wanted to win a British title when I turned professional, and I went on to do that and much more. So I'm very happy on what I achieved and fighting for them world titles.
Yes. So, but I'm sure if you kept you're just a bit unlucky, mate, with that. But you should be proud of your career. You won the British. Did you win your area belt as well?
No, I never boxed for my area belt. When I on my 11th fight, I fought for my British title. So I bypassed the British, sorry, the area. I don't think the English title was out back then. I don't think it was around, but I bypassed that and boxed for my British title.
Oh, okay, mate. So you're currently training Ricky Reeves
Yes,
and he's 5-1, isn't he?
that's right. That's
But
right.
he
5-1.
win over Sheldon McDonald. What a KO!
Unbelievable, unbelievable. He did so well in the prize fighter tournament, in the boxer tournament, so to speak. It was a massive underdog. I think he was the biggest outsider to win that tournament, and to get to the final was a massive achievement for Ricky, because Ricky came to me just before we went into lockdown. So we didn't really get much time through lockdown training. But once lockdown was up, we managed to get training straight away. Um, and he improved. He improved once we started training. He got so much, confident in what he was doing. He had a couple of fights, and then we entered the boxer tournament. He had a really tough fight, the first fight.
Taj.
We Yeah, definitely. It was a knockdown what got Ricky the win in that fight. And then in the second fight, Sheldon McDonald, it was a Sheffield derby. Um, Sheldon started really well, but but Ricky did so well in catching the shots, in tucking up, in making Sheldon work. And then the second round, Sheldon, you could just see Sheldon. Sorry about that. I've had a chest and throat infection. I'm still not well. And then yeah, he did really well and tired Sheldon out in the second round, and he went out and did a demolition job in the last round. It was an amazing fight. Ricky knew he had to go out and knock him out that last round, and it was a great Sheffield derby, and we're so proud of what he achieved.
Is it gonna be a rematch for the area title?
We don't know. There's a couple of options. There's Sheldon McDonald. There's a guy called Perry Howe in Sheffield. So there's a couple of options, but I'm hoping to get Ricky a big fight beginning of 2023 in March. So that area title could be coming back to Ricky, and I'm hoping to get him a big fight, like I say.
Yes. So we can see. I'm expecting to see Ricky in this title picture next year.
That's the plan. That's the plan. I want Ricky in a big fight beginning of next year. The area title's vacant, so I'll be making some negotiations over the next few weeks and try and get Ricky something planned before Christmas, so he can enjoy Christmas. But as soon as January start, he's got to knuckle down and get training hard, because I want to have a big fight for Ricky early next year.
Could we see him fight Zorro again, or is that not like in the question?
Yeah, no, I don't see why not. The final was a good fight with Zorro. It was a great fight. I don't see why not. Zorro's a very experienced fighter. I think he's had 13, 14 fights. He was the favorite going into that tournament, and obviously we all know he won the tournament. So it was, but Ricky needs a couple more fights, and then just to get that little bit more experience, because he only had a handful of amateur fights. So by the time Ricky has another 3 or 4 fights, he'll be more than ready for a rematch with Zorro.
Yeah. Let's hope so anyway, mate.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah. So are you friends with like Prince Nassim and Johnny Nelson?
So yeah, me and Naz were best mates growing up, and then when he obviously left Brendan's, um, we seemed to like, obviously he left and went to America and moved to London. I still live in sunny Sheffield. Not so sunny today; it's absolutely freezing. But yeah, but every now and again I'll have a phone call, or I'll give Naz a call. Yeah, I know Johnny. I've been friends with Johnny for many years.
He was back
So
in
yeah.
Sheldon.
Well, yeah, he manages Sheldon, I believe. I think he's an advisor or manages Sheldon. So yeah, so it was 1-0 to Ryan on that one.
Yes. I bet you were you kept going on about that because that's a good win for
Not really, but I'm still talking about it today. So yes, definitely did.
yes. I'm sure Johnny will try to get Sheldon the rematch, and I'm sure
He'll try, but the same thing will happen again. It
yes
will
it
be
will.
a KO and a win for Ricky Reeves.
Yes, of course, mate. Do you train any other fighters apart from Ricky?
Yeah, so I trained Kane Salvin, who's just lost a close decision
To Conor
uh,
Coghill.
to Conor Coghill. Yeah, it was a great fight. It was a very close fight. Conor just got the nod on that one. So Kane's he's got to rebuild and come back and see where we go. So they're the
Rematch?
two pro. Yeah, I'd like to see that. It was a great fight. Like I say, only lost by a couple of rounds. Good 10-round fight, even. Just Conor just nicked it on the scorecards, and then we've got about 10. We've got about 10 or 12 amateurs. We've got some good amateurs coming through. We had a couple of our amateur fought the other day. We're hoping to have a big 2023 with our amateurs, try and get a few area titles.
Are a few of the amateurs going to turn pro?
I'd like to think so. That's the plan. Get them some experience in the amateur game and then turn them pro when we think they're ready.
Yes, mate. And I've got two questions for you before you go.
Fire away.
My first one is: do you have any advice for someone who wants to be a boxer?
Absolutely. What I would say is boxing is probably one of the hardest sports in the world. It's such a tough, dedicated sport. You can't, if you want to be a boxer, you cannot cut no corners. But what I will say is when you win, there's not another feeling like it. It's down to you. It's you've put that work in, you've done all that hard work, you've sacrificed, you've missed birthdays, you've missed parties, you've missed family occasions. But when you get your hand raised in that ring, there is not another feeling like it. So if you want to be a boxer, you've got to put that work in and sacrifice, but you will reap the rewards and you will feel like King Kong when you win that fight.
Yes. And as you're a trainer, is it hard to be a trainer? Like,
Yeah, definitely, because I know the fighter's in there taking the punches, but I feel I'm just as nervous when my fighters fight as in when I was fighting. I was nervous for 67 amateur fights. I was nervous for 52 professional fights. And I'm nervous for every single one of my professional fighters and amateur fighters. And it really is hard because you know what your fighter needs to do when they're fighting, but you can't do it for them. It's down to them. We're like another set of eyes on the outside of the ring, and then when they come back to that corner, we're trying to tell them as much as possible to advise them to do what they need to do in that ring.
do
But
you
it
try
is
to
hard being a
calm them
trainer.
down a bit? Like,
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Some fighters get a bit eager, a little bit over. you know, just want to try too hard. So you need to pull the reins in a little bit and make them listen, make them take the time and take everything in their stride.
Did they ask you like if they what if they won that round?
Oh yeah, that gets asked. Yeah, did I do that round? And I'll tell them the truth. If they're not doing that good, I'll tell them the truth. I'll try and advise them what they need to change. But yeah, I mean, I just want the fighters to go out there and do their best. And if their best isn't good enough, then I'm happy with that because I've seen them try and I've seen them put their work in.
Yes, mate. Thank you for your time, Ryan. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, Sam, you're more than welcome. Listen, I've been seeing all your videos. I'm very, very proud of what you're doing, what you're trying to achieve. Keep doing what you're doing, and you're going to be definitely another Kugan Cassius.
Thank you, mate. I appreciate that.
You're more than welcome. Take care, and I'll hope to speak to you again soon, Sam.
Yes, Ryan. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, mate. Bye, mate.